And once you click apply, you can see how I've defined this area of condos around the Glen Blaze Bridge. There's a lot of them here. There are more condos even around that, but I decided to exclude them simply because there's almost 5 times more condos than there are houses on the old racetrack. So I didn't want the disparity to be even more than that. This data is now filtered for just these condos, and the first number we want to pull out is the number of active listings. You get to August of 2024, you can see that there were 498 listings active at that point in time last year. The next thing I want to do is go grab the month of August total revenue so I can see just how much a shootout makes up for that. You can see there are $2.3 million that went in the month of August for these condos. That's a lot of money. Now, how do we pull all this together and figure out just what the shootout made? But we're going to look at a metric called RevPAR because I can look back in the past and see what the RevPAR was on that particular day. And the RevPAR is a little bit more accurate than the average daily rate because it's the total number of listings divided by total revenue, so it accounts for listings that did not go booked as well. And we should be able to get a pretty accurate number. Now, just for a point of reference, let's look at the RevPAR for the weekend before the shootout, which you can see is 209 on Friday, 212 on Saturday. The weekend of the shootout is 229/224, and Labor Day weekend is 240 and 271. So you can see that the shootout for these condos wasn't even as high as Labor Day weekend. Very curious to see if that changes this year. So now let's put it all together. Let's take our average RevPAR for the weekend, 231.5, multiplied by the number of active listings, 498, for 2 days, and you come up with 230,574. The old shootout location is now up, and you can see how I've defined this area of the lake. Again, you can probably make the argument that it should have been wider, longer, but I had to draw the line somewhere, and this is just what I chose. Pretty much just the racetrack, so let's go ahead and dig in and get the listings in August 2024. You can see that there were only 121 active listings last year. I thought there might have been more, but that's what the numbers say, so we'll go with that. Now, if we go and we figure out the gross revenue that these houses took in for the month of August, it was $930,000. Not too shabby, less than $2.3 million, but again, remember we have 1/5 of the listings. Now let's go ahead and grab the RevPAR for the Friday and Saturday of the shootout at the old location so that we can see just how much they made during that weekend. You can see Friday comes in at 484 RevPAR, and Saturday comes in at 517 for an average of $500.50 RevPAR. Remember, the new location did 231.5 last year, so it's over twice as much. That is a big RevPAR number. So let's go ahead and do our calculations now. You come out with 121,121, 121,121 as the number of those 121 houses made during the shootout weekend. Not too shabby for just one weekend. All right, so there you have it. And in summary, the condos at the new spot did 232.5 roughly a night last year, and the houses at the old location during the shootout, they had a front row seat to the race. They did a little over 500 a night during the shootout weekend. And what do I think is going to happen this year? I certainly think the old location is going to see prices go down. I certainly think the new location is going to see prices go up.